Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? Well, it is morning where I'm at. Maybe it may not be morning where you at. But what I'm finding out is what I wanted to talk about today, what I wanted to illuminate, what I wanted to highlight was that I'm finding out more and more walking with God, walking in faith can make unbelievers mad. Very, 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 very pissed and very angry and downright just mad. And you would say, well, why does what I believe and how I choose to move make a person mad? Well, one reason is when you choose to live by faith, it does not make sense to the unbeliever. It makes zero, absolute, no sense. It has no scientific merit. It has no mathematical merit. And they can't understand anything that isn't 2 + 2 = 4. They can't understand anything that has no scientific measure. So faith cannot be measured in that way. Faith, you know what I'm saying? It makes them mad to the point to where they will attack you viciously, call you names like ignorant and stupid. You have no sense. God said we are a peculiar people, and they would call us these names and they would talk about us and they would viciously attack and persecute us because it's simply hate. They don't have that capacity to have the faith that we have. And one would wonder why, reason number 2 why they hate is fear. Fear that they may be wrong about the thoughts and the things that they're doing. Because I choose to live by faith, because I choose to trust in God, because I choose to truly put all my cards and my eggs in one basket and say that God has my life in his hands. He controls my destiny. He controls my day 1 to my last day. It makes you angry because you don't believe that. I'm not forcing you to believe what I believe. I'm putting information out here that you may have the information, that you can't say that you didn't hear the information. If you hear it, then you just choose not to accept it. Which brings me to my 3rd reason, accountability. Accountability. To he whom much is given, much is required. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. When you know to do right and you don't do it, then you know that is what is required of you. And most people who don't believe do not want to hear the truth, because if they hear the truth, it holds them accountable towards a higher standard. It holds them accountable to what they know now. Before they hear the truth, they can plead ignorance. They can say, well, I didn't know, or, oh God, I don't understand, I didn't hear it, or, you know, it was left up to my interpretation. But when somebody spreads the truth, which is having faith, you cannot please God without faith. It is impossible to please God without faith. So it's a lot of people out here not pleasing God because they do not have faith. And they cannot blame this on God, because God says, I birthed every man with a measure of faith. If you don't grow your faith, if you don't take information and knowledge that is given to you on your walk in this life, whose fault is that? My people perish for lack of knowledge. My people perish for lack of vision. Knowledge and vision are 2 important things. And I noticed that as a continuum, or it's kind of it happens every time I meet an unbeliever. They don't have any knowledge or the wrong knowledge, and they have a lack of vision. Therefore, not only do they perish, but generations after them perish as well. So with that being said, don't hate on my faith. Don't hate on my faith. If you want to believe in science, if you want to believe in numbers, if you want to believe in mathematical equations, that's your right. That's your right as a God-breathing human being to do what you will, to do what you feel like is your freedom. That's your choice. But don't get mad at me, because I choose to put my trust in he who created me, in he whom I'm able to do this. I'm not able to do that by any science. And so nobody can figure out why I'm able to go and breathe air and I live this morning. So with that being said, I'm not bound to any man's conclusion on what they think that the way that I should live. I live by the way the Spirit tells me to live. Am I perfect? No. Sure, if you follow me around 24/7, you're going to find some reason to say that, ooh, he's not perfect. He makes mistakes. Yeah, am I perfect? No. But am I willing to settle for anything less than the pure, unadulterated truth? No, I'm not willing to settle for anything less than that. Judge the Spirit by the Spirit. I know the fruit of the Spirit. And so in the end times, in these end days, which I know we've been living in for a long time. We've been living in the end days since Jesus died and was resurrected. It's been the end days. My grandmama used to say, we in the end days, we in the last of the days. And she was right. Because we've been in these days since then. And yeah, you're going to have a lot of people come up against you, believers. Believers, I'm talking to the believers now. You're going to have a lot of people call you crazy and strange, but you should rejoice in the fact that they don't accept you in this world. If they were to accept you, then you should believe what you're doing is wrong. If they were to accept you. And when I say accept you, I'm talking about on a worldwide grand scale. If they accept you, then you got to question what you're doing, because God says they're not going to accept what you're doing. I know as Christians, as believers, we like to hope that, oh, they're supposed to love us. They're gonna care about us. They're gonna care about when they hear this truth, it's gonna change. Dude, listen, there's some people, you're burying your seed on unfruitful ground, and you got to understand that. Some of the seed is going to be thrown to the thistles and the twigs. I forgot exactly how the scripture goes, and some of it is going to go on fruitful ground. And what you're hoping is when your message goes out, that it resonates with that one person, or that one person who's ready to believe. You understand what I'm saying? Who's ready to hear some truth. That's all you're worried about. You're not worried about if there's 10 people in the crowd and 9 of them don't believe. That one who's lying dormant, you want to affect that one. And that's good enough for you. It's not our job to get angry for God. It's not our job to get, to do God's job. That's not what we're supposed to do. He just told us to live life and have it more abundantly by knowing the truth that we know and living that truth that we know. Spreading that truth that we know. That's the only job you have, is to just spread the truth that you know. It's not up to us to sit up here and wonder whether or not a person is getting it or not, or get mad if a person gets it or not. All you have to do is live your life, live the truth that you know, let God do the rest. Let go and let God do the rest. So don't hate on my faith. I believe God is the orchestrator. He's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. He knows my past. He knows my future. He knows my present. He has it all in his hands. He maketh me to lay down in green pastures. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, believers, when they hate on your faith, you need to understand it's supposed to happen.